Anchors Aweigh with your host, Skippy Gustafson. We are shooting live from Argyll, Nova Scotia, in beautiful Canada, broadcasting from public access television station CARP.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Anchors Aweigh, where we explore everything that is anchoring. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of my all-time favorite anchors, the sleeve anchor. These are so useful that I think these may be on my top of the list of anchors. And they have sleeves, just like me. Anywho, before we get too far along, I wanted to say thanks to Jay's Sporting Goods out of Argyll for sponsoring our program for the past 7 years. Jay's is your local sporting goods wholesale warehouse. Well, on to the show. These sleeve anchors have a neat design, which makes them work great in a variety of masonry like concrete, brick, and block. But before you can use the anchors, you need to have the hole drilled in the material. Am I right? Once you got that hole cleaned out, then you can drop that anchor in and then the fun begins, eh? When the nut turns, it pulls the working part up and expands the sleeve, which then pushes the sleeve out against the material you are anchoring it to, and it's not gonna budge. Well, unless you can overcome the sheer strength of the anchor, but we'll cover more of that later. I use these puppies in a light to medium duty, and they are more suited to go into concrete, block, and brick. Another thing that you need to think about is how long of an anchor am I going to need? Take into account these three things when figuring length. First, take into account the minimum embedment into the material. Then, what thickness is the fixture you are anchoring? And finally, number three, the other hardware needed, such as nut and washer. Now, the depth of the hole should be at least the length of the anchor minus the thickness of the fixture that is being fastened. Out in case some of the dust from the drill falls in the hole. Alrighty, let's take a look at spacing the anchor so that you have the maximum amount of holding power available. The way it works is the pressure of the anchor transfers to the material, which means the more space you have in between the anchors, the more sound of an anchoring you have. Make sure you have enough space between those suckers. Otherwise, it's going to reduce the amount of anchoring power that is available, eh? Those guys down at the factory that makes these anchors made a little rule. 10 anchor lengths between, and you're in the green. Now, when you are by an unsupported edge, like a corner, it's 5 anchor lengths from that edge. They also recommend that if there is any vibration or sudden impacts that occur with the fixture that is being anchored, you should increase anchor length distance. And now we have come to my favorite part of the show, anchor installation. This always gets me pumped up, so here we go. Oh boy! I'll walk you through the steps from what the manufacturer recommends for proper installation. Step 1. Before you begin, make sure you have your PPE. Personal protection equipment will help you keep gunk out of your eyes and keep you from losing your fingers. Like my friend Stubbs, who lost a few fingers years back out on a job on Prince Edward Island. Also, if you are doing a lot of drilling, get an N95 respirator. It'll help protect your lungs, eh? You can use a vacuum to really cut down on dust that causes silicosis, a dangerous lung disease that occurs by inhaling silica, a main mineral found in masonry, don't you know? Step 2. Now you need a hammer drill and a carbide masonry bit that meets ANSI B9412-77 specifications. The bit must be the same size as this type of anchor. Step 3. Clear the hole of all debris. I would use a vacuum as you drill to keep the hole clear. When you are done drilling, vacuum the hole out so you have the best chance of your anchor setting properly. Step 4. Make sure the nut is flush with the top threaded part of the anchor so you don't mangle the threads and mess them up good. Insert the anchor into the mounting material through the mounting holes of the fixture. Push the anchor until the washer is snug against the fixture. Step 5. Now turn that nut until she's snug. Tighten the nut with a wrench or a screwdriver depending on what type of head is being used. Tighten about 3 to 4 full turns until the anchor is tightly secured to the base material. Well, that was pretty easy, eh? Now let's take a look at the table of technical data on the last page. We'll go over common size used by Sparkies, 3/8 inch. The first column shows anchor diameter in inches, and now look at the 3/8 inch row. The second column shows the minimum embedment depth of 1.5 inches. The third column shows the amount of torque that is to be applied to the anchor, which is 15 foot-pounds. The fourth column shows tension in pounds, which is the amount of force put upon the anchor and material, and in this case is 1,590 pounds. The fifth column is shear pounds of force that it would take to shear the anchor from the material, and the amount is 3,060 pounds. Well, that about wraps up this episode of Anchors Aweigh. Golly, I sure did have a swell time sharing all about the sleeve anchor with you guys and gals. Next time we explore another super anchor, the wedge anchor. And remember, the more you anchor, the more secure you'll become. Bye now.